Hey, Greg, guess what?
What?
Our cruise is done.
Wait, we went on a cruise? Oh, wait,
We
yeah,
did.
we did go on a cruise. Huh, where'd these shirts come from?
So we're going to do some of our reactions. Oh, no,
It's
not
over.
those kind of reactions. We're going to talk about the Carnival Legend and all the fun time we had. And it's coming up next on
D&G Explorers. Nice view of you backing your backside into the camera there.
just like a ship coming into dock.
Wow. Full steam ahead.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome,
hello,
everybody. We're back.
hello. We are back. Were we live? We didn't go live last
No.
week. And we ended up not doing a sail away because it's a good thing because we were on Tornado Alley.
Well, that was your fault. There'd be no way we could have done it. The wind was blowing something fierce.
Yeah, we'll talk
It
about
was
that.
crazy windy going towards the bridge.
I am going to
The Golden Gate Bridge, to be exact.
The NFL schedule is coming out, and we're looking for some important dates with our football team, the Buffalo Bills.
Weird sounds outside.
So, Greg, amuse me while, or amuse
you? Wow. I don't think we have the time. No. Derek was getting the drinks or drink ready.
And ran out of time.
We will. Here we go. We'll welcome in who we have here so far. Mary Ellen Dillon, welcome. Renee Overback, welcome, who just came back from her first Virgin cruise. She has been divergenized from Virgin. Anthony Simona's here. Cheryl Wendeck down. Excuse me. Jamie Wilhite, Mike Jackson, Party on the Sea, and more to see. Welcome. And it looks like we don't have good news. What's going on? What?
Well, the 13th, the Bills are playing Monday night in Atlanta. We wanted to see a home game in Buffalo on the 12th.
That's not happening.
And the week before that, they play the Patriots on the 5th, which we could have done. But it's also a Sunday night game. So it's not a normal 1 o'clock time for them. It's 5:20, which means we're going to have to fly red eye from Buffalo to Orlando.
We'll talk about it after the show.
I'm done.
Oh my gosh. But back to our show. That we are live on right now. Welcome, everybody.
The Bills actually did the Bills. The NFL did this last year too. They released a schedule on Wednesday, right when we went live. So I think it's now a thing where they release it on a Wednesday. But why didn't they do it on the weekend? I don't understand. They used to do it when they did the NFL draft, which is like around the 20th of April. But they had last few years they wanted to make a big thing out of it, and yeah.
Holliers, welcome to the show.
Welcome,
Angela
everyone.
Nimba.
I know there's people here that are watching, thinking it's
We'll talk about
the
it.
cruise.
We'll
it's
talk
not
about
NFL.
it later. We'll talk about it later.
Yes,
It's for a plan that we were looking to do, so we might need to rearrange some things.
Yeah,
but back to the show at hand.
For the NFL, we'll finish up with this. The Buffalo Bills are going to be leaving their stadium after this year. They're tearing it down. They're building a new one as we currently speak. And I've never had a chance to go to Buffalo to see a Bills game. I've been a Bills fan.
We both have never had a chance.
I've been a Bills fan since 1975.
I've been a Bills fan since 2008.
And they built the stadium in 1973. So it's been around a long time under a few different names. And I'd be very disappointed if we didn't get a chance to see it.
I did say 2008, not 1978. Okay, yes, 2008.
You did. So we're going to go sometime this year. We just got to figure out what week is going to work best. And as last year, we were hoping, or 2 years ago, I think we were hoping for the Bills to play on my birthday in Buffalo. No, they played in Baltimore, and the Ravens spanked us. So not happy, but hello. Hi. So
back to our show.
Yes,
about the cruise.
Let's look at the comments. Sorry, I don't have my.
I already welcomed everybody in.
So have a great live. I'll be at Whitney show. So I'm team replay this week. Awesome. She's on. Did she say she's on NCL? I think she's on NCL, isn't she? Isn't that?
I don't know
Whitney?
Who you're talking about.
Mary Ellen Dillon.
I'm not sure.
I think she's on is it the Aqua? No, Aqua doesn't have Whitney. Oh, I don't know what ship has Whitney on there.
Thank you, Renee. She loves the shirt.
Thank you.
It was the only thing that had the legend on it.
Oh no, there was a couple of other ones, but I really
like this.
There was like some gray ones, there was some tan ones, and then they had one that had the construction of it, like the all those lines in it, and it has like all these numbers across it, but it was only on the back side of it, not the front. So we were thinking if we go live, all you're going to see is Carnival. You're not going to see a legend. So we wanted a shirt that had the Carnival Legend on it. So we thought it was a little bit patriotic-y, and we were happy with this. So Greg's sick. He's got the cruise crud.
I do not have the cruise crud, and I do not think I'm sick. I think it's allergies because the wind has been whipping up something fierce around here. And yesterday, I was out raking leaves and stuff, and all of that junk just went up in the air, and I breathed it in. So and then overnight, when I woke up, I felt it on my left side. Then it moved to the middle. So my nose is burning, and my throat doesn't really hurt. I'm just blowing my nose a lot right now. So I do have a little bit of like head congestion right here. And I do feel a little tired, but that might just have been from running around on the cruise. I felt fine on the cruise, so I don't believe it's cruise crud. I think it's allergies and just the wind blowing everything up in the air right now.
We did in Ensenada, we hit our friend up, Victor. I always forget the name of his shop, but
this isn't the new one, is it?
Yep, this is the new one. So he always
Did you just?
I threw it on the ground.
Okay.
He always remembers us. We haven't seen him for a couple of years. But
well, he remembers our faces. He had to ask your name, but yeah.
This is what we got there this time. We have some tequila.
It's a mango.
This is mango.
It's pretty good.
Oh, you know what? I didn't want the mango. I wanted
wanted the mango.
Jamaica is what we asked for. But we tried this one too. But this is good.
You said the mango.
No, I said Jamaica. But that's fine.
Well, we're not going to go all the way back to
why not?
Ensenada.
But we tried this one and we like this, so I'm not upset.
Renee said allergies are bad this year. At least here they are. Yeah, it's been pretty windy. The wind was here yesterday, really strong, and then it went away, and now it's back again today. All the trees are blowing around right now. In our backyard, looks like a tornado hit.
Yes, it does.
Leaves are everywhere. What is wrong with our video?
I don't know. We're a little bit. I wonder if we're going to lose our power. I hope not. It usually happens when we start losing power. So Cheryl, when
it usually happens when we start losing power.
Yeah, like
you mean it,
the battery power.
Oh, I thought you meant power. No, oh, we're stuck.
What did I say?
They're not saying anything yet. Is Ensenada walkable? It is walkable to an extent, depending where you want to.
Okay. All right, you guys, we're switching cameras. Hopefully this works a little bit better. I think
Shows are live still.
I think so.
Back.
Okay, we're back. So hopefully we're back. We had to take off the other one. So I'm not sure why we're having issues. So I do apologize about that. So Cheryl, one deck down. Yes, it is walkable. We did do an excursion. Greg had 3 surprises this cruise. The first,
yes, I did.
That was the last one, and we actually did a Segway tour in Ensenada, and we had a blast. That was so much fun. Angela, can you text me and let me know that things are
They said that we're back, and they said that we sound good.
Okay, perfect.
So I think we're good. I kind of figured out that our friends Mike and David were going with us. It didn't dawn on me until I heard a loud noise rolling. Cheers. Dilly dilly, everybody. And I looked down, and our friend Mike said, yes, we're going. I said, I knew it. I was like, what is that sound that I was hearing? So, excuse me. So I figured that out. But then I thought we were having a porthole ocean view. And I said, "Oh, here's the porthole ocean view," and I saw curtains, and I thought, okay, they just covered it, and I opened it, and there was a balcony door. I was like, "What?" And then Derek told me that we had a suite, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea that we were going to have this." It was a really nice room. And then the third surprise was the Segway tour. I didn't think we had any excursions, so this guy is just full of surprises.
It was fun. It was a fun little cruise. It was only 4 nights. It's funny. We have booked
Oh God, that's strong.
the Symphony of the Seas for 2026 with Betsy and Mike from Beach Please on their Halloween cruise. And
that is a great surprise. Yes,
that cruise is actually less expensive than the 4-night Carnival Legend cruise, but that's because we got a suite, and that was a big difference between it.
Renee, I always feel loved with Derek, and yes, I do feel very loved that he did all these fun things for me and for us. I had no idea about this, and Angela asked, "How is the suite?" You'll find out in about
10 years.
2029 or so, maybe 2030. No. It was very spacious, lots of cupboards and closets, and it actually had a little hallway into the bathroom. The only thing both of us did not like, was that Carnival needs to get rid
Leave it.
of,
Leave it.
Carnival needs to get rid of their curtains in the shower. That is so gross. And literally, we had to put them in the shower, and they were so long, they were just kind of piling up in the shower as the water was coming in from the shower.
Like
they
the
were
bottom,
all wet.
the bottom of the tub was like this.
It was a big
about
tub.
A third of the bathtub was probably a long shower curtain. Our friends were right next to us in a suite, and they didn't have that problem. So hey. Stop. No.
One of the kids likes to play with the wire.
No, he's never done that before.
He's being feisty. He's letting you know he wants to eat.
Sorry.
Nautical Nurse Nancy, welcome. And Carnival Cruise Addicts, welcome
in. They were on the Legend recently because they've been showing the videos on it. Because they're probably the last videos that I watched from the Legend. I didn't want to watch a whole lot, but there was some good information on their videos. So thank you for posting those.
It was very legendary, Nancy. What is going on outside? Inside of the cruise ship, it was just beautiful. It was very cathedral looking. The main atrium area, when you look up, you see the elevator shaft, but all around it's like wood, well, fake wood,
like cherry wood almost.
And it had like cathedral looking window type, pane glass window type looking things, and just the look of it was just beautiful.
Greg was saying it reminded him of an Asian look to it. I thought it was Greek just because it had a lot of different, had vases in there, and there were tons of these gray vases.
They used vase shapes
all
a lot.
Over, but I could see where Greg would think it would have like an Asian theme, but there was like the old Roman art, like the cherubs, and it was just a very whimsical looking ship. I hear a lot of people like this class of ship, and I would agree. We've been on now 4 different classes of Carnival ships.
And we also went up a grade on our ranking of Carnival as well. Congratulations, Jamie Wilhite, to your daughter graduating college, getting her master's in social work. That's awesome. hopefully she
That's
does
awesome.
great things with that.
Yes.
That
We
diploma.
well, we didn't do a live last week, but we did release a video that I think some people thought was a live because the way we filmed it, but it was our likes and dislikes of the NCL Encore, which is the final video of that series. And we're going to be moving on to Virgin next. And then we're going to be moving on to our Carnival cruises next, which we have 5 Carnival cruises that we have to put out. Although one of them will be
Lots
the
of
Radiance.
things that we got to do.
Yes, a lot. But this was only a 4-night cruise. And
for me, it seemed like it went by very slow.
Not for me.
For me, it did. It just seemed like a nice long weekend. Like we were off early Wednesday, so that was basically, it almost felt like a full day.
You know how they normally talk about the 4-night cruises can be like a party cruise? I didn't get that, and it might have been because
we didn't drink as much.
We didn't.
But we sailed out Thursday, so Thursday to Monday, it went by pretty slow for me, and we slept a lot. We were like catching up on sleep a lot. We didn't do much activities like in the little planner. We were gonna watch Wicked, and we didn't even do that. We were just like zonked out. I think we needed it.
We went to something else. I think that's why we didn't see Wicked. We went to the opening show. They had the sail away show, whatever they call it, where they kind of introduce what's going on the first night. Some of the cast, some of the performance,
which we've seen that show before. I was like, this looks so familiar, and I thought they're doing the same thing the other ships do.
They always do that. It's just kind of like a welcome, and then you get to meet some of the theater group that they did it. We did see a new show though, which was Flick, and they did
about movies,
these different
music songs from
movies, yeah, and I really enjoyed that. This was probably the singers, the main singers for Carnival were probably the best from any of the Carnival cruises that we've been on. That guy, I don't know what his name was, but
he was good,
awesome.
And the one girl sounded like Christina Aguilera at times.
Yeah, but sometimes though, like when they blare out, sometimes they're kind of like too strong. She was good. They actually had like kind of like 2 main singers. They had the dark-haired girl too, and she also did really good. But I was impressed. And we saw Mike and David actually went to see that because David isn't one to see a lot of those kind of shows, but he enjoyed it too. So
you were saying some. I cut you off before, so I didn't mean to. I don't remember if you know what you said before.
I think I got out what I was going to say.
Nancy said, "How did you like the layout?" The layout was very good. I think they used good use of all the nooks and crannies, kind of like Virgin in a way. And the casino was actually a lot bigger, I think, than the last ship we were on with our casino. Oh, okay. I was like, what is it? Okay. Anyway. So yeah, we were in the casino quite a lot, although
you didn't play.
I didn't play.
Like
I did
$10.
I did $10 on the crane, the claw machine, because they had restacked all this money that they saran wrap. You could do like hundreds or try to get $500, and people were trying to get the 500. And people were so close, but you have to get it just right. And then at one point, I thought I got it, and then it fell. And then it moved over to the right, and I kept doing it, and I probably should have stopped trying to get that one because I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to be able to get
How many
this
tries
now.
did you have to do it?
You get $10 for every try.
That's not bad. That's worth it. That's not bad at all. That's better than doing, that's like 4 spins if you do play 250, I bet.
Yeah, but if I won 500, that would have been nice.
The first night I won, I came out $300 ahead. And then I pretty much lost it the second day. And then the third day, I think I pretty much kept even. And then the last day I came up $150 ahead, and I put that back on my bill. So
He was doing
I'm-
good with the machines.
I'm thinking maybe I lost $250, no more than $350. And a lot when I play, it's fun. I mean, that lasted me a long time. I gave myself $100 a day, and for the most part, I was playing on their money, but it helps for future cruise offers. That's why I play. We also had Greg.
Oh, and there's that. She said she's seen people win there.
Yeah,
And also, it sounds like I was able to relax a lot.
I think
we were able to relax a lot.
I think I had three decent sized wins, like 150, $200. I think I had at least three wins like that. Drink. We had free drinks while we were in the casino,
which we never took.
We never took advantage of it. They were either not around, or they walked by, and I was too focused on playing, and then I would realize, oh, that was a bar person, or I'd be walking around and I would see them walking around, and I was like, oh well.
Well, but we did get the free big missile waters. We got 2 in the room, and then you get another 2, 1 per person. Well, I took advantage of that, and I got my extra water. You never got your extra water.
No.
And I thought they said we were supposed to get an extra, like a free drink. But I think I misunderstood, and they meant free drinks while playing at the casino.
I think so. That's what they said. Nancy was asking. Nancy, we got this in Ensenada, and this is a mango tequila. Mango tequila. It doesn't seem to have a lot of alcohol. I think it only says 7.3%. So we added some margarita mix, and then we also had to have some tequila.
We did drink quite a lot of water, actually, throughout the cruise.
I don't think I drank enough.
I think I did. I mean, I was trying to flush out my system, but we didn't drink a whole lot. My ending bill came up to like $2.
$2, you wish.
$280 around there.
But it's more than that.
No, actually, it's not.
Yes.
Hold on. My bill was over $280, but they did put a massage on Derek's account. Calm yourself. Which I will pay him back for, and that's it. That's the only part that they did not put on mine.
It was
like 120.
Well, I think 375 hit my, so it would be half of that. Whatever half of that is.
No, the special. It was a special. It was a manager special, and it was 75 minutes for. How much was it? It was like $100. I thought.
No, it wasn't 100. It was 160 or something like that. And
I thought it was less than that.
Normally, it was 199, but they also gave you an additional 25 minutes.
Yep. So we did that. And I did actually, I won a spa contest, but what were you going to say?
No, you're good.
Oh, so we were doing a contest where they were doing drawings, and I thought it was one drawing, and I was like, I wonder if I'll win. You know, it would be kind of funny if I won, if I heard my name. First person they drew out was my name. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, I won. And I did like a little dance jiggle and whatever. And I thought I won the $500. And I opened the paper because they give you this folded paper, and it said $79 off a spa treatment, which is still good. I'm still thankful for it. I misunderstood. I thought it was one drawing for the $500. That was the last drawing, which I did not win.
Yeah, there was 5 drawings.
So I got.
But you still won.
Yeah, I did, and I was thankful.
And you got the suction cup thing.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I got $79 off of a spa treatment, plus free cupping with, oh my God, what is it called? Starts with an A. Not anesthesia.
Acupuncture?
Yes, with acupuncture.
Anesthesia.
So I had acupuncture for the first time in my life, And I was kind of thinking I'll try acupuncture because of my arms have been hurting. So, so they do cupping with free cupping with the acupuncture. Well, I did the acupuncture and I told Derek never again. It hurt, probably because my elbows were already hurting. But at one point, she had like 20 needles in my right elbow. I was laying like this. I had to have my arms like this. My neck was like this. And if I tried to move my arm, they were put into certain parts of your muscle that it would pull on the needle and it would hurt. So you couldn't even move. They put some in my lower back and on both elbows. So it was interesting. But I was talking with my physical therapist yesterday, and I said, maybe I'll do it one more time, not on a cruise. Because she actually said something. She said her opinion is that they might have in mind, well, they're not going to see you again. So maybe it's not as good as on land where you might go over and over again. Not to say that they don't do a good job, but I did get cupping done, and she used like this hard. I asked if it was like a bamboo stick, and I thought she said yes, but it didn't feel like it. And she was like, felt like she was scraping on my back, but she said she took the cup and she moved it around. And she said, I better not show you what it looks like because you would be scared. Because the darker the bruising, the more worse your muscles are. You know, you might have scar tissue, you might have just overworked, hurt, fatigued muscles. But I did have Derek take a picture.
Yes, I have it here.
And it was scary.
First of all, Sean, welcome in. But this is what
welcome.
I thought it had D&G. I thought she was trying to do D&G Explorers.
It does look like D&G, but that's
there.
my back.
Yep. Isn't that
So I look
crazy?
like I got the crap kicked out of my back.
Hey, welcome in. I bring it every day. Nice to see. I don't know if you've been on here before, so great to see you. Hello, Cruise Talk Raid. And the picture she sees is your back. That's all bruised. Greg was beat up on the Carnival ship. And no, just kidding.
You're right, Nancy. I don't believe acupuncture should hurt. Did the cupping leave you bruised? Yep, it did. And acupuncture isn't supposed to hurt. And I thought, you know what? I'm on a cruise. I should not be in pain. When she was taking the needles out, there were blood spots at times. She'd pull one out and it would bleed a little bit. There was one that she pulled out and more blood than normal was coming out. No, it wasn't gushing, but it was just a bigger blob of blood. And she just wiped it off. Now, the only thing I will say is that she didn't use gloves. She didn't touch my bleeding area with bare hands. She kept it sanitized before she put the stuff in. I was thinking she should have used gloves. And at one point I even asked, this is all sanitized and everything, right? Thinking in my mind, of course it is. And she goes, yes, of course. Yes, it's all sanitized. And she showed me the packets that they came out of.
We've been getting a raid coming in.
Traveling fools, welcome.
There's so many people that have popped in. That, as Greg,
the Down Under cruisers, welcome.
We said that.
Controversial cruising, welcome. I didn't say welcome. I've been talking.
Foodies Vacations, Bill and Scott raid. Scott says Cruise Talk Live raid. Adventures with Uncle Dave. Hello. And decided to raid D&G tonight after our show, Dilly Dilly. Scott goes on several times a week.
Denny D, the spectacular supporter, welcome.
Hello. Hope you're doing well. Her brother is getting married in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
It seemed like she was saying he's getting married next year, and now it's 2 weeks. And she said that on Nancy's show yesterday, and I was like, are you serious? That's soon? So I know you're going to have a good time. Oh, thank you, Scott. These two are awesome if you haven't seen them before. We are a little bit silly. We like to have our dilly dilly. You get like how I said that? So we are having some margaritas that we went to Ensenada. We always visit a gentleman named Victor. And we got some mango tequila, which is this is a light one, but he also gave us a tamarindo tequila, and I love tamarindo. You have to say it that way too.
No,
Right?
you don't.
You can't say tamarindo.
I don't say it tamarindo. I say tamarindo or tamarindo.
Tamarindo.
But you're all trying to be all Mexicali about tamarindo.
You do.
But just to end the story, yes, it should not be painful. And my arms hurt for a while, even after the acupuncture. I thought, I'm on a cruise. I should not be hurting. I'm not doing this again. She wanted me to go back for a second session. I thought to myself, I am not coming back to you for a second session.
Of course they do.
I even told Derek, I was like, no, I'm not doing this.
I've never done a massage before. And
the massage was nice.
I was thinking about doing the hot rocks because they give you a sample as you're doing like the tour of it. And that felt really good. And I don't like.
Yep, we did.
I guess
the hot rocks. Yeah.
I guess I'm a gentle soul because I don't like deep massages. I like it relaxing, and but hot rocks was one of the ones, and that was my favorite part of it. They also give you there's 5 different massages.
It lasted about 5 minutes. If that.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite 125 minutes or 75 minutes, but it was a good hour. But it was.
You should time it yourself. I was going to do that actually.
Well, it was like it was. It was close to being an hour and 25 minutes.
Welcome to Najima. Foodie's Vacation. Warm Strong Adventures. Welcome. Najima Brown. Welcome. More to see. I think we said welcome before, but welcome again.
Jamie asked, did we go to Walmart? No. That's only in Puerto Vallarta, but
we might have an ad coming in. There we go.
Is it back?
It's back.
Okay. Oops, wine. Oh, I'm going to talk about that.
But we did thoroughly enjoy this cruise. So back to the fun stuff.
Yes, back to the back.
That's my leg.
Sorry. Well, you have your legs spread all over.
I was stretching.
So when we went to Walmart, you can only find.
But we didn't go on this cruise.
Jose Cuervo, Tamarindo. This is a mixer. This is non-alcoholic, which is a lot of the mixers here are from Jose Cuervo, or either the lime tequila one, or non-alcoholic, or it's the strawberry one.
But you got this at Victor's, didn't you?
Yes. So in Puerto Vallarta, this is the only place we saw that. And it was kind of funny when we were talking to our friend Victor. I said, don't slap me for this. I said, but when we were in Puerto Vallarta, we got at the Walmart, we got the Jose Cuervo Tamarindo. And he goes, oh, you mean that over there? And sure enough,
I said, I guess he's not going to be slapping.
And it's only $6. This is only $6. So we got 2 bottles. So now I know we can get it either in a full, the full Mexican Riviera, or even if we just go to Ensenada, because those are usually the 2 things that you do on there. And so happy I got that.
Oh, that's our free bottle of wine that we never drank.
And I don't know if you guys ever had this, but I'm not a red wine drinker.
It's a Merlot.
We like our sweet wines.
I like Merlot actually now. I wasn't really into reds much, but
I like
Merlot.
If you go to like the first night to specialty
555 Fahrenheit,
but
steakhouse,
any specialty restaurant, on the first night they give you a free bottle of wine.
But Carnival Legend only has the one specialty restaurant.
Correct, but in general, if people are going on Carnival, they can go to the Italian one. They can do Japanese. If it's a specialty restaurant, they should be able to get a free bottle of wine, and you can either get a white one or you can get the red. And this is very good wine. We've been trying to find it. It's from Chile, and I'm hoping we can find a place where we can get it locally.
From North to Neverland.
Welcome.
Do we say hi to iBright every day?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Yes. Welcome again.
That's when I was showing your back.
Oh, yeah,
that was
the
first image.
Okay.
So tamarindo is a root. I believe it's a root, or maybe it's a fruit, but it's kind of a sour thing, and that's why it's that color.
Wait, I thought tamarindo was those things that grow on trees and they look like long string bean looking things, and you pop them out.
I forgot now.
They're kind of like flat, but they have like these little seeds in between them. I thought that was tamarindo.
I don't know, but it's you can get it a lot. It's kind of a like even as candy, you can get it, and
Either
it's
way,
kind of
it's good.
a sweet sour kind of thing. But it's I love this. I was almost crying. I gave him 5 hugs when I it was
You did not.
it was like in the Christmas story when like you hear like God like
Oh yes.
That's what I heard when I did that.
But we did give him hugs. He went to, I think he went to shake our hand. No, we just gave him hugs. The Freddie, the Segway.
No, not Freddie. Oh yeah,
Freddie,
yes,
the
yes, yes.
Segway tour guide. He went to shake my hand, and I just went and just gave him a big hug. And then everybody else followed suit. They just all gave him a hug. I said, "We're huggers here." He was such a great guy and fun to hang out with. And he said that I made him laugh and that my laugh was infectious to him.
A lot of people say that though.
Yeah. He said that on a lot of the tours, he's not laughing or anything. People are just kind of, but then when he heard me laugh and everything, it just made it brighten his day, which was nice to hear. But at the end, it's like he put his hand out, and I'm like, forget that, thinking to myself, let me give you a hug. So I just give him a hug. He was really cool. And we would like to, because I think we're going to be going to Ensenada again soon.
Maybe.
We would like to request him again to possibly do the same tour, or an ATV tour, So yeah, we'll just have to look at that, So yeah, he was very cool. He said we are able to request him through the cruise line, so that's awesome.
Danny says, "Don't put your tongue on the pole, Gregory and Derek, like in the Christmas story. I triple dog dare you."
Oh my gosh!
How did you get those bottles home safely? Well, luckily we are in California.
Derek wrapped them up in dirty underwear. No,
no,
he wraps them up in clothes.
Well, I only had to do that.
He used clothes that we didn't use.
We brought 4 bottles, actually 5 bottles back with the wine, but since we live in California, we didn't have to worry about any airfare, and we drove San Francisco. It took us about it said it was 2 hours and 45 minutes from the cruise port in San Francisco to where we live near Fresno. And so that was like awesome. But because of that, we had to pick up our alcohol on the last day. And we put them in, I put 2 in my backpack, and then Greg had 2 in his backpack. So they were pretty secure that we didn't have to worry about it.
So to answer a question, thanks to Nancy, tamarindo is a tropical fruit
there you go.
That is a bean-like pod with a hard shell that resembles a peanut shell or edamame pod. So, and I love edamame. Oh, I could eat that all day.
I'm going to get going. I need a shower and get to bed early as I'm off for my trip tomorrow.
Oh, thank you for joining. Have fun and have a safe trip.
Yes, Angela, I will text you information about Bill's game. So I'll text you some information on that. But yeah, so Greg, we have about 17 minutes left.
From North to Netherlands and laughing out, Gregory, I just said the same thing about underwear, laughing face. Now, we used clothes that we didn't use because we brought some extra. You always bring extra clothes.
We weren't sure
what happened,
what to wear.
Yeah.
Because
you don't know if you need hot or cold clothes, but it was pretty cold.
So the weather, where we live, the weather was supposed to get up to 100 degrees or 99 degrees, I think, in Madera. And San Francisco was in the 60s. Ensenada was it's supposed to be in the 80s. And then when we got there, the guy said, yeah, it's really warming up. This is going to be the first hot day. And he said it was 80 degrees. And we're thinking,
it was
nothing. But it was a little bit more humid. But it wasn't really that bad. Even when we got it was nice back and short to the room, we took a shower just because we wanted to feel a little bit more fresh. So you could feel a little bit of the humidity, but it was very
I thought it was nice a perfect day in Ensenada. Actually, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It was good shorts weather. But I did take a shower after. Yes,
we did something different. I think my luggage is 29 inches. So we shared one since it was only a 4-night cruise. I
Hmm.
did do a carry-on with the Wills, and then we had backpacks that we took with us too. So that was kind of helpful, but maybe we would have done it a little bit differently we would have on a longer cruise. But we didn't want to pack a lot of big stuff, bulky stuff, because then we would have needed to bring 2 luggage with us, large ones.
Down Under Cruiser says, what about Edda Daddy, Greg? Does it taste different to Edda Mom? Oh, I got the joke, Daddy and Mommy. Haha. I was like, wait, what? I like edamame with salt. I don't like when they put chili flake stuff on it, which we've had before, and it was okay. But I'd rather have it with just salt on it. Oh, did you get any delicious sourdough bread in San Francisco?
No.
We didn't. Not this time. We are considering a California coast cruise with Virgin next year. What is the weather like in April? That's from North to Neverland.
You never know. Was it the cruise we were thinking about going on originally?
But we do like our sourdough, just so you know.
Is it the Virgin one is it the full Virgin one or Mexican Riviera one?
If you're going up the California coast in April, because we went in May and it was actually still cold from the Pacific Ocean, I would imagine it would be the same in April. I don't think it would be any different. It hasn't really warmed up yet. But if you're sailing out of San Francisco, it's usually always cold or cool in San Francisco.
North of definitely. Well, even when you sail out of Long Beach, it's cold. And if you're going north,
it's off the ocean.
You can count. Pacific Ocean is a cold ocean.
Yep.
Sean, thank you so much for joining. Welcome. Have a great morning.
Or have a good night.
Yes, since it's early in the morning for him in Australia. So yes, the last. Well, let's talk about when we sailed away out of. When our first night. How much time do we have? Okay, 13 minutes. LA to Vancouver. Oh, you're gonna have fun.
Party on the Sea said, out of all the Carnival cruises I've been on, I have yet to do the Spirit class yet. Booking the Legend for next year when it's back in Tampa. I think you're really going to enjoy the Legend.
Who said that?
That was from Party on the Sea.
Oh, Eric. Okay.
4 days was good. I wouldn't have minded a couple more days on it.
I would have loved it.
There were people that were doing back to back to back. So from Florida to San Francisco, from San Francisco back to San Francisco, and then from San Francisco to Alaska. That's a long time.
Yeah, they had a lot of, they probably on that one run there probably changed from, if they were gold, they probably went to platinum just from that one trip. Okay, maybe not quite that much. So North of Neverland said LA to Vancouver, which will be an awesome cruise for sure. Jamie says, I grew up 100 miles south of San Francisco. Love going to the wharf often. Where did you grow up, Jamie? Were you near you're south of Monterey then, weren't you? Or were you near Monterey? I'm curious to see.
But we didn't really talk about our excursion.
Well, let's talk about the first night we went there. So we on Wednesday night, we went to San Francisco with our friends. We stayed at the Riu on the waterfront, and that was not a bad hotel. I think it was the cheaper one. I think we paid about $220 when all said was done with the taxes, which was a lot cheaper than some of the other ones that we had looked at.
We did like the Legend more to see, yes.
And then they have one of the wins. They have a good buffet there, and it's continental, but it's a pretty good continental breakfast because they have the sausages, they have all that. But at Wednesday night, we went to. Do you remember the name of the place, Craig? Wipeout. It was called the Wipeout Bar and Cafe.
Yeah,
which we've never had that before. But that was good. I liked mine.
It was all right.
I thought it was good. I would eat there again. But it was kind of when you enter Pier 39. It was like at the beginning of it.
We wanted to eat at the Pier Market, but it had more seafood than not. And our friend David doesn't really like seafood. So we compromised and went to a place that had more variety and choices for everybody.
Oh, Watsonville. Jamie, we pass through Watsonville when we go through Los Banos, Hollister, and we go Gilroy, and then Watsonville, and then we go to Santa Cruz. So we pass through there. Awesome. So a small world.
Oh, they live there?
No, they. She said she grew up there.
Oh, okay.
And then Legend is from 2002, so it is an older ship.
It's the oldest ship we've been on.
No.
Yeah, I think so. Or was it the
Magic from Dizney?
Okay.
Yeah. But
the
I will
oldest Carnival
say
we've been on.
this ship was very well taken care of. You could see some wear to it. The thing that really impressed me the most was the suite, like the Radiance. They have those off-color, like in the bathroom, like the sink was like blue, like an odd-looking blue color. You get used to it when you see it. It's not as gaudy as you see like in videos and that. But this one had granite counters. And I saw some previous suites and they were like the blue, but this one had granite counters. The backsplash was tile. It was a very nice looking, I mean, we stayed in the suite, so obviously it's going to be nicer. And that was the biggest room I think we've had on any ship, which you would expect for it being in a suite. We both really did like the Legend. This was the ship that I had asked to go on because I remember seeing our friend Life with Favor. She did a cruise out of Alaska on the Legend. And I thought this is really whimsical looking. And some of the names that they have on there.
I didn't get whimsical when we...
I did.
When we got onto it.
Maybe that's not quite the word, but they have the Enchanted Forest, which is an area that is at the side of the ship, which is really like a quiet area. But
it's like a horseshoe type thing.
Yeah, it goes around like the first quarter of the ship. And it's just a big enough, like a little walkway with 2 chairs. And then on one side, you might have benches here, like some comfy benches in there. But it looks like a little forest in there, which I thought was cool. But it feels like you're walking into a library. So it's not as if you're going to have like a party in there. It just seems like a relaxing little area. It has the big windows that you can't sit in there, but they still have the big windows that you can, the tables right next to it. I thought that was cool. They have the Unicorn Cafe, which I thought that was fun.
That was the buffet.
The buffet. I really like.
Interesting, they called it that.
That I might say that was my favorite buffet out of the Radiance, the Firenze, and the Celebration. And what I liked about it is
the layout.
I like the layout. Welcome in, Carl. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Front of the theater. What I liked about it is it's kind of like how a lot of the modern ships are, where you have these little different sections that you can go to. So like on one of the sections, it went from, I think, breakfast in the morning, and then it went to it was called chopsticks. So it was like Asian food. And then it went to the sea corner at night, which is like the seafood shack, I think is what the name of it on some of the ships.
Yeah, and I love seafood, but just the
walking by it was a little
off
bit,
of it kind of turned my stomach.
The pizza, they had a pizza there, which was a little bit, I had a bite from Greg's, I think twice.
The pizza was pretty good,
but it's a little bit different. There you go. Scott said chopsticks. That's it. He did a video on that. I was watching that.
The pizza's inside.
It's inside. It's at is it the Pirates Pizza is the name of it?
I don't remember it. I just saw it say pizza, and it's right next to the little coffee cafe where you can get the specialty coffees. They had 2 areas for specialty coffees.
But the interesting is, most of the time they weren't there, and you'd have to ring a little bell, like you're at a hotel and you ring the bell, and they would come out from like the rafters or like from the heavens. I don't know where they came from, but I don't know what they were doing back there. But they would come out and they would make your pizza, and then they'd vanish. And then I think some people weren't sure, like they'd be waiting there without realizing they had to hit the little bell to get people to come in. But they had other things there. They had the deli was there. They had Geisberger, the Blue Iguana. They have the tequila bar, the Blue Iguana tequila bar, which isn't on all the ships that we've been on. And they also had the Red Frog pub and the Red Frog bar.
The deli, I got that.
That was good. Meatball sandwich.
It was like a meatball mozzarella sandwich, but on top of the bun, it was like Asiago cheese and stuff on it. and then they just put it in a warmer, but it was really good. And if we don't finish going over it on this show, we'll continue on our next show along with some other things too. One thing I did notice was that when I was at the deli, the deli area, the lady, you look at some of these.
Welcome in, Ben.
Welcome. You look at some of these, the ship crew, and they don't always seem happy. They're not always smiling. And the lady that was at the deli, she wasn't really smiling. So I started talking with her, and the simplest thing, you ask how their day was, and it brightened her up. We started having a conversation. She started smiling. We were talking about things. We joked around while she was getting my food ready and everything. And it was just little things like that people have to remember that, yeah, they're there for you to, serve your food and stuff, but they're not your personal servants. And so many people, I think, forget that. They're human as well. And just the smallest amount of kindness that you can give to somebody makes their day brighter. And it was just nice to see that, to be able to do that. And then I know Derek, he videotaped me. I didn't know he was doing it, but this poor guy, this crew member had this big cart of these big cartons from the ice cream machines. And the wind was so bad, he would roll a few steps and then they would just be blown off, ice cream stuff all on the deck and everything. And at first I looked at him and he was trying to take care of it. And then it kept happening. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and help him. And so I was helping. 2 other people were helping. Then they left. And then he tried it again and it still happened. So I was there holding it down. He said, let me get a towel. If you can wait, please. I said, that's fine. And so he put a towel over it. And it stopped the wind, of course, from blowing it. But he had like a mess of ice cream stuff on the deck. I felt so bad. But it was just like little things like that to help people out. You see someone that needs help or is having a bad day, and you can just make their day a little brighter. So I was glad that I had those interactions.
I have
interaction with some of the crew members.
There's several times you go and the crew members have like a stone face just because they're just used to like the repetition and
because people just say, can I have this? Let me have this. No, hi, how you doing? And it's just that little bit of kindness goes a long way.
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
The food overall, I would say on this ship was probably my favorite of any Carnival ship that I've been on. The steakhouse, the location of it is in the funnel. How cool is that? Where the funnel is, awesome. They have like windows where it slopes down, and they have the steakhouse there. It used to be called something else. I can't remember the name of it.
On the side of the funnel, but yeah,
it went through a remodel at the end of last year, and they changed it to Fahrenheit 555, and that was awesome. The food,
yes, Marcy, yes, you're right.
I don't know. Well, the location added to the experience because you could see outside. It was
Far from Neverland
on like deck 10, I think. And you could see like the views and people were like walking on the deck because we've been in other ones. And when you're in the steakhouse, you're pretty much like enclosed. You can't see what's going on outside.
Yeah, this was really awesome.
Open. The food was good.
This was our favorite steakhouse of Carnival.
And as Greg said, there's the only 3 things you can pay for is the Dr. Seuss breakfast, which we didn't do because we've done it on multiple Carnival cruises. There's the chef's table, which we didn't want to do, and they have the steakhouse. Best food I've had at the steakhouse by far. And then the main dining room was good. The only one I would probably say the last night I didn't enjoy it.
Oh my gosh. The funnel did not catch fire.
No, it didn't. We made several jokes about that. But the last night I didn't really want to get steak again. I didn't want to get the chicken because they have like those normal ones that you can order. I got jerk pork chops I think it's what I got, and I was afraid it was going to be a little bit dry, and it wasn't as moist as I wanted it. It was not too dry. It was okay, but overall, I would say that the main dining room was really good, and they have small portions. So the Caesar salad, Greg, focus. We got a few minutes left of the show.
He
Um,
was going to make a special appearance.
The Caesar salad
You
was
scared him.
amazing. Greg, focus. Caesar salad.
Stop.
Did you like the Caesar salad?
I did like the Caesar salad. I was trying to have a special appearance by someone they've never seen, and you scared him away.
I don't know if he would come. Oh, he just collapsed on there.
He was.
But yeah, overall the food was good. We did have a good cruise. We will add a little bit more next week before we go on to a different topic.
The Caesar salad at the steakhouse was good, although it should come with warning. Should say may explode when you cut lettuce, because I went to cut it comes in like three big stalks of long lettuce, and it had all the stuff on it, anchovy sauce, all that. And when you went to cut into it, or at least when I did, it like exploded all over the place. It like the dressing flew everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh, this thing needs to come with a warning. Mike from Nebraska, welcome.
He's using his own one, not his cruise koozies. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Why does it sound wrong when I say that? I don't know. He switched his other one. But yeah, Greg, we'll talk a little bit more about this week. It was fun to sail out of San Francisco, our closest port that we are to, and we've sailed into it
and going under the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
We went from Vancouver to San Francisco on a Princess ship. That was only 3 nights, and then this is the first time we went to and from San Francisco. And I like that Pier 27. We figured out parking. That worked out good for us. And we'll talk a little bit more about that next week and some other things. But yeah. Greg, amazing cruise as always. Carnival did so really much, good.
Jenny D.
Thank you. But with that, Greg, next week we got to figure out what Bills game we're going to this year. Let's go Bills. And I'm Derek.
And I'm Gregory.
If you figure out our names, it's okay, because I'm Little Explorer.
And I'm Big Explorer.
And as Walt Disney once said, we are just getting started. Sir Gary of the Beaches, rest in peace. Kick it off for us.